Good morning. It is my last day in Scotland. And there's some serious foreshadowing going on. There's snow on the ground here too. I guess it's just acclimatizing me to what's coming. We're on our way to Roxburn, like just walking to the center of the city, I guess. And we're gonna get some pre-castle brunch. And then after our pre-castle brunch, we're gonna go to the castle. So it all ties together somehow. A full Scottish breakfast for breakfast, suitable for my last breakfast in Scotland. We're going up there, and it's cold and windy here, not like it was in Roxburn. So, we're here in Edinburgh Castle. More specifically, we're in the remains of David's Tower, which is a tower built by King David of Scotland. Actually, no, not by him, for him, because he was Robert the Bruce's son, I believe. And there's no tower anymore, but there's like this underground bit left. And actually, in World War II, the Scottish government decided that they would bury the Scottish crown jewels down in here, so that if the Germans invaded, they wouldn't be able to just go into the, royal treasury and take them. And the location, like maps, treasure maps basically, of all the Scottish treasure that had been hidden, and like the locations and everything, were given to 4 people, one of which was the king. And there was like the treasurer, secretary of state, and one of them was the Governor General of Canada. So in World War II, we got to know where the Scottish buried their treasure, so it's pretty sweet.
And the reason was, if Scotland did get invaded, then those first 3 that were actually Scottish people would be captured, so they needed someone outside of Scotland that would know where this stuff was.
And we're like that good friend of Britain that they can trust. So we have Scottish treasure maps. It's a 1 o'clock gun.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Tease it.
Wait for it. Keep waiting.
Almost there.
And wait. Wait. Wait for it.
Almost there. There you go. It's 1 o'clock. So, we're at the Scottish War Museum, which is actually in Edinburgh Castle, along with a handful of other museums, which I didn't even know. So it's cool that we get to come and see some of the museums here. The painting behind me is a depiction of part of the Battle of Waterloo, which was between French and English forces. And basically the English are barring the gates to a important fort that apparently was a turning point in that battle, which defeated the French and kept them out of England, I think. So we're here now in the Great Hall of Edinburgh Castle, and as you can see,
It's pretty great.
it's pretty great. It was built by James the IV for a great hall, obviously, to have banquets and stuff in. And but it was converted into an army barracks when Oliver Cromwell took over. And so also it's like, I think it said 300 and some soldiers lived in this place as a barracks. So the more I hear about Oliver Cromwell, the worse of a guy he sounds, because he just wrecks everything that's cool.
Yeah, like he was trying to, he destroyed England's crown jewels or
Yeah,
their
and was trying to
things. And,
destroy the
yeah,
Scottish honours, which are like crown, sword,
Yeah.
and scepter.
yeah. We went through a little exhibition about how they just tried to hide it from Oliver Cromwell, basically, and eventually found it. And then Robert Burns, I think, found like the chest, and it still had like another scepter or something in it that was kind of just like a plain one that wasn't fancy, and you didn't know why it was there.
Yeah, so they restored the place at some point.
In the 1800s.
Yeah, so it looks a little more like a great hall again
Like it
than
sounded
rather than
like
an army barrack.
he had covered up the ceiling or something, because when they restored it, they uncovered all of the fancy carvings and the wood and the wood stone stuff.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know how well you can see it, but probably not very well. But there's all sorts of like cool painting motifs and it's cool exposed wood. It's all oak, I think it said, so it's quite cool. But it's a nice, great hall. And I don't know how well it'll show up in this video, but up in the corner right there, that little box, that's like a little iron bars over a window, and they called that the Laird's Lug. Basically, the king, if he was in his chambers, he could, I think that's what it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the king. He could look through that window and spy on his courtiers and make sure they weren't plotting against him or something. So, interesting fact.
There's something strange on the Royal Mile. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters!
So we meet again in the background?
What? So we meet again. Yeah, I don't think it'll show up.
No.
So, there's a sign behind me that says, "So we meet again," but meet is spelled M-E-A-T, because we're in a place called the Boozy Cow, and their thing is basically
Hi.
meat and drink, I think is what their
Okay.
slogan is. So it's just like burgers and drinks. We ordered some good sounding burgers, so we'll see how that is. So, I'm on the train from Edinburgh to London. Said goodbye to Kira, had a good dinner with her, good burgers, and so in 6-ish hours, 7 hours, I'll be at Gatwick Airport, and then I'll just have to wait there till my flight tomorrow at 11. So I'm on my way home, basically. Just want to thank Kira for hosting me and for showing me around the city and traveling with me and everything. It's a lot of fun, and I intend to come back at some point and adventure somewhere else.
My name is Rob, I'm train guard.
7 hours later, in 2 trains, and I made it to the airport. So I'm pretty well set to go. All I need to do is wait another 7 hours or so that I can check in for my flight, and yeah, then I'll be on my way home for real. Here's where I will hold my ground till the time when I can check in for my flight. So I'm literally on the ground, found my plug, and I'm good to go. So until tomorrow, good night, all you fine folks.